Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary Ashcraft. If you are new here, you can find me on Instagram at that same name. I will have everything linked and spelled down below in the description box. This is episode, I already forgot, I just looked. Episode 28? No, last one was episode 28. This is episode 29. Today is May 13th. And I'm thinking that today will be a shorter video. I did not do as much stitching this week as I normally do, just because, well, you'll hear in a second. I just had a lot going on. But I want to say first, I feel like I always start my videos complaining about my week. I don't do that intentionally. I've come to the realization that, like, I thought I had busy seasons. Like, if I could just make it to next week, it won't be as busy, or I'll feel less stressed with work, or, like, you know, things like that. And now I'm realizing that's not the case. I'm just always busy, and I have to deal with it. So, I'm going to try not to complain too much about my week, but I know you all get it, right? So, let's see. This week, we started ISR lessons, which is Infant Swim Resource. If you have little kids, go look it up. I highly suggest it. It's basically teaching the kids the skills they need so that if they find themselves in a body of water, they know how to survive and not drown. I mean, obviously, it's not foolproof, but that's the idea. That's their mission. So we started those this week, and it's definitely tough to watch because both of my kids cry the whole time, which other kids, pretty much every other kid, all the other kids cry during it too. And there's theories about that, about how, like, kids cry because they're learning a new activity, they don't really know what's going on. It's similar to, like, as adults when you get assigned something at work that you've never done before and you get really frustrated and you have ways to communicate those emotions, but kids don't. All they know how to do is cry. So it definitely takes a lot in me to not have a reaction to that when I see them crying or, like, calling out for me. But I know, like, there's a kid that goes right before my daughter who he's in refresher classes, and it's like, you know, living proof that this method works, and I've seen other people and friends who have done it too. So that's our big thing, and it just makes our days that much longer. Work is busy as usual. What else? Anything else happen? I'm trying to think. I don't think so. Oh, I do want to mention something because I've seen several people now talk about this, and I think I offer a different perspective. I think Janet Jabber was the first person I heard mention this, that she does not monetize her channel, but she has noticed ads on her videos when she's gone to respond to comments. And she didn't know what it was about, and she was going to check it out, and also wanted some feedback in the comments about that, if the ads bother her viewers. Interestingly, I looked at the comments, and a lot of people said that it didn't bother them, and that, you know, go monetize your channel so that she gets some of that money instead of everything going to YouTube. So, and I've seen a few videos now of a couple people who have said they do not monetize their channels, and YouTube is placing ads and they don't know what to do about it. Here's my response to that. Go monetize your channel. It literally hurts nobody. You can go through the steps. If you meet the 2 qualifications, which is like a certain amount of views and 1,000 subscribers, you can go through the steps to get approved to be monetized, and then for your videos, you have the option of monetizing that video or not. So you could at least get approved for it, and then choose whether you want to monetize it or not. But the way that I see it is, one, it literally is the most passive thing ever. Like, you can skip the ad, you can just click out of the video, you really don't have to do anything as the viewer or as the YouTuber. And it's just, I equate it to commercials on cable. Like, it's just another commercial. And I think there's a misconception that if you are on YouTube and you've monetized your channel, you are making a buttload of money. That is not true. Maybe if you have millions of subscribers, or even more than, I would say 50,000 subscribers, would you make enough to be able to make a living off of YouTube? But when you have the amount of subscribers that most of the people in the Flosstube community have, you're really not making a lot of money. There's been a lot of mention about the under 100 subs club, and people talk about the perks that you get when you reach 1,000 subscribers. And most people say, oh, a perk is being able to make a post to your subscribers. So like, say I'm not gonna have a video, I can make a post and say, hey, no video this week, I'm sick, or whatever. But a perk that nobody mentions is you're able to monetize your channel. And so if you want to monetize, go monetize. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. I've been monetized since the mid or end of February, and now it's mid-May. I think my revenue that has been generated from ads is $20. It's literally nothing. Like, and you can't even withdraw money until you reach a certain threshold, and I think it's $100. So basically, like, this time next year, I will be able to get my first paycheck from YouTube. Not that that's what it's about, but just to give you some perspective, it's not, I don't know, it's just, I don't look at it like it's that big of a deal. And the only way a YouTuber makes money is if the viewer watches the ad and doesn't skip it. If you skip the ad, that YouTuber does not get any money. So, you know, you as a viewer do have a little bit of control if you want money to go to whatever YouTuber you are watching. But it's like, it doesn't hurt anybody. It literally has no effect on anybody's life except for maybe being inconvenienced by 30 seconds of ads. And I usually take that time to go get myself a drink, to go to the bathroom, get a snack, change my floss, what have you. Like, you know, so go monetize your channel. If you are finding that you are not monetized and you have ads on your videos, just go monetize it so that at least you get some portion of that rather than everything going to YouTube. Like I said, it doesn't hurt. And you can use it for whatever. You can put it back into your channel. You can buy more cross-stitch stuff, because let's be real, who doesn't want more money for cross-stitch stuff? I know for myself, once September or October hits, that money is the only way I'm going to be buying cross-stitch stuff, because then my student loans will have to start being paid on, and that is a hefty bill, my friends. So it's like, for some people, it's a way to have extra money that they would not otherwise have. So, you know, it's like the same as having like a side business, you know, all those MLMs that everybody does. The whole point is to have extra money. And not saying that that's the whole point of having a channel or having a Flosstube, but you might as well monetize. And I think you'll find, if you are a Flosstuber and you're worried that your views are going to go down or your subscribers are going to go down or whatever, I think you'll find that a lot of people probably really don't care. And they'll just skip the ads if they want to skip the ads. Like, I have a rule for myself. If you are a Flosstuber, I will not skip your ads. Unless it is over a minute long and I really don't want to sit there and let it play. Because there are some ads that are really long and I'm like, why does YouTube think that this is okay? This is not an ad. This is a feature-length movie. But that is one way I can support my friends, my Flosstube friends, without literally doing anything. Another way, if you are looking for a way to support your favorite Flosstubers, ask them if they have a Patreon, if they have a Buy Me a Coffee link, or as some people say, Buy Me a Fancy Floss. I know Michelle Bendy has a Patreon, and Rocio and Janet and Carla have Buy Me a Coffee. I also have a Buy Me a Coffee link, but I don't promote it. I don't use it because for me, that's more of like, you are actively giving me money and I'm never going to ask for that. But it's there if anybody ever wants to use it. Or, whatever. If you want to support your favorite Flosstubers, YouTubers, there are ways to do that, but having ads on somebody's channel, it's just one of those like, so what kind of things to me. So that turned into a much longer rant than I was expecting. Basically, long story long, if you are a Flosstuber and you meet those qualifications, at least get approved for it. And then you can decide whether you want to monetize your videos or not. There's an on-off button for every single video, and you can do a trial and error, situation. So let's get into the things that we're actually here to talk about, which is the very little stitching that I did this week. So here is my coffee sampler by Owl Forest Embroidery. I love this pattern. I love every pattern I do. Oops. But this is so cute, honestly. Okay, so really did not do much. You may not even be able to see what I did. All I did was the ecru up here and started it. What I'm going to do, so last week I mentioned I do not like the way that the variegation is going. So it's vertically variegated, whereas when you look at the picture on the model, it's horizontal, like the door is that I have done. So it was interesting. I got some comments who said they really liked the vertical, and some that said, frog it bugs you, you're not going to be happy with the finished project, which I totally understand both sides. My only hesitation now is having enough of this floss to be able to redo it. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do everything else, which is why I've started up on the top of the thing. I'm going to do everything else, and then at the end, I will see how much of this floss I have left. And if I have enough left, then I might go through and frog it all and restitch it. Or the other thing is, once I'm done and I see it next to everything else, I might be like, okay, yeah, I could live with that. So that's where I'm at. And like I said, that is all I've done. I did that in one night and that was it. And you will see why I haven't worked on anything else, because my next whip, and okay, so this is Owl Forest Embroidery. This fabric, I hope this is a pretty true to color representation. This is Oat by Bee Stitch Me. This is a 32 count Lugana even weave, and the flosses are from Owl Forest. They are the called for. I bought the thread pack a long time ago, sometime last year I think. And then the Floss Buddy is from Bags Plus, which I have some more coming. I bought a couple more from Michelle and from Karina over in the UK. So if you have any hesitation about Owl Forest, I say do it because I love it. I did get a couple questions this week about the difference between the Owl Forest flosses. So Owl Forest dyes a couple different brands of floss. They dye on DMC, they dye on a Russian floss, and then there's one other one, but it's not used as often. the main ones are the Russian floss and the DMC. And so I did not know what the difference was. So I contacted, a long time ago before I bought my first set, I contacted the owner of Owl Forest and I asked her what the difference is, which does she prefer, which does she recommend. She said there really is not much of a difference. The Russian floss is just a cheaper, slightly less quality option for floss, and it gives people an alternative that is not as expensive as the DMC. So I don't know what the price difference is, because everything on their website, even when you're on the English version, everything is still in Russian rubles. So you really don't know how much you're paying for something until you go through at the very, very end of your PayPal checkout. Which, like, at that rate, you're like, screw it. I'm not going to go through that whole thing again. So basically, they are similar. I think I looked at a picture of the two floss packs for either the coffee or the tea sampler, and I think you can tell a slight difference in the way that DMC is dyed versus the Russian flosses are dyed. And so there might be a slight color difference in that one might be darker or one might be lighter. And so they're not exactly the same. But that being said, I go with the DMC just because I like DMC. I really don't think you'll have a problem with the other one. Especially since there are other people who say the other one is just fine. So, but these are the DMCs. Like, this is my favorite one. I have no idea what it's called. I think it's like plum something. But it's like a purpley pink variegated. That's my favorite. And then they also sell ecru and black. And if you buy a thread pack that comes with ecru or black or white, those are not dyed. Those are just DMC and repackaged into the way that they package their flosses, which you'll see in a second. So that's a little spiel about Owl Forest. Their patterns are really great. I equate them to Frosted Pumpkins. So if you're familiar with Frosted Pumpkins patterns, I would say these guys are very similar in how theirs look. They come with a color version and a black and white version. They come with an easy to, if I can find it, an easy to understand key guide. Everything is in I almost said English and Spanish, English and Russian. And then, oh, interesting. I didn't even realize it tells you the number of cross stitches per color. And then it tells you like what the number is if you're using the Owl Forest, the DMC, or any of the other ones. So yeah, I always recommend Owl Forest. This is part of Owl Forest May that I'm doing with Memphis Sarah. So many people have joined and I love it. I have not started another Owl Forest project yet because I was waiting for something that finally came in haul. But before we get to that, here is the whip that is taking all my time because I cannot put it down. So in addition to Stitch Mania, Stitch Mayhem, Stitch Sania, Owl Forest May, oh gosh, what else is there? What else? There's a bunch of ones that I've heard for this month. There is also a Mirabilia May. So I started my first Mirabilia. Okay, so I am doing Lady Justice. And I'm doing a color conversion. I'm kind of mashing two conversions together that I've seen. So I'm doing a gray robe, a purple sash, and I have a feeling I'm going to have to change the color of the scales, but I'm not sure what color. maybe like a gold or a silver. Probably a silver since I'm using a gray fabric, but I'm not 100% positive I'm actually going to do that. So here's what I'm doing. And in the middle of the pattern is this part of the sash, which was good because when I started this, the only floss that I had was the purple. So here is what I got. Don't ask me what colors I'm using because I couldn't tell you. I was going to do, so I think there's 4 colors in here. I have 2 dark purples that are very similar in shade, which is fine. There's just a slight difference. I literally just came home from Joann's. Where did I put that floss that I bought? Hold please. Bathroom break. Just kidding. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm back. Guess who's back? Now that song's gonna be stuck in your head, just like School of Rock was stuck in your head last week. Okay, so I pulled out. I don't know if this one is for that. So here are my purples because we're gonna talk about the purples. So here are the purples for the conversion minus this one. These are the purples for the conversion that I'm using that I got on one of the Facebook groups. Okay. I was going, instead of doing this darker color last night, I was going to do this one. Okay. But do you see how this color, it's 38-35, it's medium grape is how it's described. It doesn't quite go. Like it's more of a pinky purple than a true purple, right? So I thought, yeah, so I frogged the few stitches that I had put in with this. And it also didn't look right with this purple. It just looked kind of funny. And this, whatever this color is going to be a big portion of the sash. So I was like, no, I don't like that. So I went to Joann's, which, by the way, Joann's is having 15% off on DMC. Who knew? Oh, the gardener. He's got me. Okay, so I picked up these ones. So this is what I'm looking to replace. I'm thinking it's going to be one of these, maybe. Yeah. Hey, gardener, you want to come join? This video is all over the place. So I have to decide, but I also have to make sure that it's not so close, like, oh, this one looks very close. But it's different enough that you will be able to see the difference on the pattern. So, yeah, I feel like it's going to be one of these two in the middle. One of these ones. So this is 327 and 552. But I don't know if that's, because the other thing that I thought was the gradient just wasn't right. So if we have these, and these are the two darker purples that are very similar. So here's this gradient, okay? And so this is the color that they had stuck in here. Just doesn't look right to me. So I'm thinking maybe one of these. I do not have enough hands for this. Yeah, like this one, I'm thinking. How does this gradient look? And these two light purples are very similar. They're just a slightly different shade. So I think that's a better gradient than this. right? Yeah. Okay, you tell me. So this one is $3.27. And I think that's better. So all of that is to say. Yeah, so oh, my needle fell off again. I really like the way this looks. This came with the Forbidden Fiber kit for Gilmore Girls, but my needle just fell off of it. And I realized yesterday when I picked this up, my needle was missing. And I thought, uh-oh. It's probably on the floor somewhere. Hopefully it's on my desk where I was keeping this, but it's always possible it's on the floor when you have kids who like to get into your stuff. So, yeah, so what I'm thinking is I'm going to go down and do the rest of the sash. Yeah, probably do the rest of the sash and then start on the robe and work my way, probably either, well, work my way up or down. Work my way up to the upper parts of the sash, because I'm here, and I'm gonna go this way to this part of the sash, and maybe work across to the other part of the sash, maybe. So that's where we're at. This is 32 count linen. Pearl by Mystic Fabrics. I got it from Abby, Top Knot Stitcher. This is like the perfect gray that I was looking for. So I'm very happy with this and just the nice modeling that it has. Very, very happy. So those are all my whips for the week. I do have a little bit of haul. Like I said, I picked up the rest of my floss. So I picked up the rest of my floss for Lady Justice because Joann's was having a sale and I had no idea until I walked in. So what also came with my order from Top Knot Stitcher is Miss Dancing Flower by Mirabilia. Definitely Japanese geisha inspired, which I love. I grew up with a lot of Japanese influence because of my brother. I feel like a lot of guys go through this stage where they have an obsession with Japan. So I grew up reading manga, watching anime, learning about Japan, learning about Japanese culture, history, all the things. So I love that, just everything about Japan. It's a beautiful country. So, my favorite manga is Hikaru no Go, and my favorite anime is Angelic Layer. And Hayao Miyazaki is amazing, and I love, love, love Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, Kiki's Delivery Service, and Totoro. So, but if you have read Hikaru or watched Angelic Layer, then we just became best friends. So, there's this one, Miss Dancing Flower, and then there's also Miss Cherry Blossom, which I love, love, love so much. And I kind of want to do one as a gift for my brother and sister-in-law. I know they had planned on going to Japan in, I want to say March 2020. And then they pushed back their trip by like a couple months or something like that. And then they had to cancel it completely. So they should be going to Japan, I don't know, whenever we're able to travel again. That's probably where they're going to go first. So I would love to do one and give it to them. And I love, and you guys know I love plaid, but I love the checker in here. It's just subtle. I think it's subtle, and it stands out because it's red. The eye naturally draws to red, but I love this pattern. I just think it's so beautiful. So then another thing that came in this week was my floss for the Alice in Wonderland Owl Forest free stitch along. Free free 99. So like join if you haven't. There are 2 colorway options. You can do the colorful option or you can do a 3 floss option. I know many people who are doing both, or well, I know people who are doing the colorful. I know people who are doing the 3 floss. So, I'm so excited. I need to dye my fabric. I have the fabric. I need to dye it. I just need to stop procrastinating and actually do it. But these flosses, like, that color, I want like 50 skeins of this. This color is gorgeous. So, and then of course everything on these are in Russian. So I don't know what any of that says, but gosh, these colors are so pretty. I also went through a lot of back and forth on what color fabric to use for Alice in Wonderland, because the called for is vintage country mocha, and I've seen most people do it on a neutral colored fabric, like a neutral tan fabric. Kyle Reckemeyer is doing it on like a light blue, which I think would be really pretty with this because the lightest blue you have is this one. So that would definitely show up on a light blue. I love stitching on light blue, so maybe I'll consider that. And then you also have the ecru, which depending on the shade of blue might show up well. I've seen some people do some like more colorful colors. So I think I've seen a purple and a pink. I thought like a light pink looked really nice. So I don't want to do like a neutral tan, but I also don't want to pick a color and then at the end of it be like, yeah, I don't like this, So knowing me, I'm probably going to do a neutral tan. Yeah. So, but I'm very excited. They're finally here. They were at the Russian border for like 2 weeks, which doesn't normally happen. So it definitely took a little bit longer to get these ones. Okay, my last bit of haul. Ooh. Okay, so was it last week? No. 2 videos ago, I mentioned I'm on a Mirabilia kick and collecting all of the patterns that I want to stitch. And there are a couple out of print patterns that go for a lot of money, that I also have a hard time finding. They just don't come up for sale that often. And so one of my friends, Kelly, who is Celtic Cast On here on YouTube, she has a Flosstube and she does knitting. She does a ton of knitting. So if you also enjoy knitting, go watch her. She messaged me and she's like, hey, because I'm in Canada, obviously there's going to be different people up here selling versus people in the US. So if there are any charts you want me to look for, let me know. And so I told her 2 charts, which are Villa Mirabilia and Ashley's Roses. Within, I don't know, a couple hours, she said, oh, here's a post for Villa Mirabilia. And it was a great price. And then we saw that there was some damage to the, like this portion. And it looked really weird. They said that the chart was fine, but I don't know, it just looked kind of funny. So I skipped that one. And then I think maybe the next day, she says, I found one for Ashley's Roses. And I was like, ooh, because that's the one that I really like. Because Villa Mirabilia and Ashley's Roses have plaid in it. And they're just, the way that it's done, I love it so, so much. Similar to Miss Dancing Flower. So, we find out that the chart is used, but very good condition. Price is good. And so I got it this week. Oh my gosh. This is Ashley's Roses. I remember when I was looking through all of the Mirabilia patterns. Actually, no, I think I saw somebody working on this one in one of the Facebook groups, and I just went, what is that? Because the plaid, the flowers, just everything about this is absolutely stunning to me. So, very excited. You can see definitely a used chart, been opened, but I checked it. It's in great condition, no problems with it, and so I have Ashley's roses. There is another pattern, one of my unicorn patterns that a gracious, wonderful, amazing viewer of mine messaged me, and once she's done stitching it, she's gonna send me. And I got the message. I'm not even gonna tell you what it is yet. But I got the message at like 4:30 in the morning because my kids woke up early. And I just remember reading it like, am I hallucinating? Am I dreaming? Like, is this real life? And you know who you are, and you're probably watching, so just know that I am eternally grateful for you. So I don't know when she'll send it, probably next month or the month after, whenever. I don't really care, because just the chance to be able to stitch this pattern is going to be just a treat. I don't even have the words. Like, good people still exist. I mean, I know good people exist, but like truly amazing people still exist in this life. So you know that I'm very thankful for you. Yeah. Okay. So that is everything I have to show you. This ended up being like my normal length video, which is totally fine. Let's see, plans. Okay, now that I have Alice in Wonderland, I need to dye my fabric. Mary, dye your fabric. I need to dye my fabric so that I can start it. So until I do that though, I'm probably going to continue working on Lady Justice because I know I say it all the time of like, oh, I really enjoy stitching this, or like, you know, whatever. I legitimately love stitching this. Like, stitching it, figuring out the colors, and then also thinking about the end product, knowing that this is going to hang on the wall of my office one day. Like, I love this. And if I could spend every waking moment of stitching time on this, I would. And that's saying a lot. Yeah, I just want to be stitching this all the time. Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to mention one other thing. My friend Mandy Mead from Mandy Mead Stitches, she has made project bags and she's selling them on her Instagram. So I will have her Instagram linked down below, as well as her channel. I ordered one of them. I actually ordered the same one as my friend Jordan, and so Jordan and I are going to be matching. I think it's supposed to come today, and it's not here yet. Funny story, last video when I said, oh, I should be expecting my order from Top Knot and like today or tomorrow, it was sitting on my doorstep the entire time. I literally like did not even bother to look outside the door before I started filming. So go check out Mandy Mead's project bags. They're $25, which includes shipping. She has 3 different patterns, I believe. One has bees on it, and then 2 are floral. They are super, super cute. Vinyl front. So if you're looking for a new project bag, check her out. So that being said, that's everything. I was going to say I'm going to go eat lunch, but I don't think I'm going to because 2 of the paralegals at my firm are retiring. Oh, yeah, I was going to mention this. 2 of my paralegals are retiring. So we're now going to have 4 attorneys, 2 paralegals, and 2 office staff for a, I don't even know, 50 plus at 70 plus caseload. So if you live in Fresno, if you live in the Central Valley, if you live anywhere and you want to move here and you're an attorney or you're a paralegal or you are legal staff, please contact me. Because we are hiring. We are hiring for literally any position, essentially, because we need more help now. So that's my little tidbit. And I think that's it. So I hope you all have a good weekend and a good week. And I hope you all had a good Mother's Day. I was trying to think if anything was coming up, but I don't think there is. But last week was Mother's Day, so I hope you all had a good Mother's Day if you celebrate that and you're a mom or you have a mom. So yeah, happy stitching. Let me know what you're stitching on, and I'll see you next week.